Hello everyone, my name is Destiny Washington, and this week's video is here to shed light on a local Toledo nonprofit organization working to better serve the veterans within our community. So what I'm going to do is start off with a photograph that you may just find familiar. Alright, so here it is. So I want you to think about it for a second. Think about what you're looking at. And my question for you is, how many times have you seen a homeless person on a corner with a sign that said he or she was a veteran? If you think about it, your answer is most likely multiple times, right? Right. So according to Green Doors, a national veteran rehabilitation company, homeless veterans are homeless far longer than a non-veteran. So according to a statistic directly off their website, the average homeless veteran is on the streets for 6 years. We can compare this to 4 years of a non-veteran. So the first question on everyone's mind is, well, doesn't the Department of Veteran Affairs help them? The answer is not quite. So according to the Department of Veteran Affairs website, homelessness is actually huge amongst our veterans here in America. So on any given night, there's an estimated 500,000 homeless veterans on the street. With the money that the government gives the Department of Veteran Affairs, they are able to successfully help 20% of those people. So let's take a second and do a little bit of math. 20% of 500,000 is roughly 100,000, right? So if we subtract 100,000 from 500,000, we have 400,000 people left on the street, uncontacted, cold, and hungry. So yes, it's great that we're reaching out to 100,000 of these homeless veterans, but we still have this large chunk of veterans on the street who have nowhere they can virtually go. All right, so now you're probably thinking, well, why should I care? Why do I need to get involved? The answer is simple. It's because everyone knows a veteran. So whether you have a veteran as a neighbor, a family member, or a classmate, we all know a veteran. And the bigger picture of this is that veterans are the ones who serve our country. They put their lives on the line to fight for us so that we can continue to live the lives that we've become accustomed to. The least that we can do here at home is to make sure that when they come back, they have a decent place to stay and that they're not needing for the bare necessities of life. So how can you get involved, you might ask? What you can do is find an organization out here working, to get these veterans off the streets. An organization that certainly is doing that right here in Toledo is One Matters. The mission of One Matters is to return individuals and families with children back to domestic autonomy with dignity. Keywords are with dignity. So to give you a little background about One Matters was founded in 2007 by Ken Leslie, a Toledo native. Ken Leslie, great guy, actually came up with this idea while working with another nonprofit organization right here in Toledo. So he told me this interesting story. So when he was working with this other nonprofit, he found that the way this nonprofit worked was that the homeless veterans needed to put down a down payment. So for the sake of this conversation, let's say the down payment was $400. One day, Ken Leslie asked the coordinator of this program, what happens if these veterans don't have $400 to give you? So the lady's answer was simple. She said, well, we take them to churches and they beg for it. Ken Leslie was so outraged that the people who fight for our lives, our soldiers, our military personnel, they were actually going to local Toledo churches to beg for money from people they did not know. I mean, how embarrassing. So he decided to start an organization where our homeless veterans could actually go and find somewhere to get the bare necessities without having to beg for it, which is very commendable. So now you may be asking, well, why should I help them? I know there's thousands of organizations out here claiming to help homeless veterans, but the answer is that you want to find someone that's getting results. When I asked Ken Leslie, roughly how many people have you helped? He told me that he couldn't give me a rough answer, he could actually give me an exact answer. And that exact answer was 1,150 people. He also told me that 25% of the 1,150 people were actually children as well. So he's tracking his results, he's following his results, and he knows how many people he's helping. That's something that you definitely want to look for in these organizations. Okay? On top of that, One Matters is extremely popular within the Toledo community. You may have heard of his annual event, Tent City. It usually occurs at the end of summer, and it brings people from all over the region They just come and they help raise money for our homeless veterans to help further the programs that go on for them. Also, they hold Saturday morning picnics throughout the whole year, rain or shine, downtown Toledo behind the Lucas County Library. Okay, so if you're interested in helping, which I hope you all are, what you can do, the first thing I suggest you do is go to onematters.org. That's the number onematters.org. Look on their website, familiarize yourself with what they do and the events they actually hold, and get involved. So one way you can get involved is to actually volunteer. Ken told me that they're always looking for volunteers because they have numerous programs throughout the year. And as we know, time is sometimes better than money. If you absolutely do not have time to spend, then definitely feel free to write a check out to them. I mean, this money goes towards the picnics, it goes to their annual fundraisers. Most importantly, it goes to getting these veterans homes, okay? Also, one thing I recommend is you can actually follow their extremely popular and active Facebook page. You can actually find that at the number One Matters as well on Facebook. Follow them, and then you'll be able to track the events they actually hold throughout the year. If you still have questions, I definitely recommend you feel free to ask me, or just go on the website as mentioned earlier. But that actually concludes my speech. I hope you guys feel way more informed about One Matters and are pumped to get involved. But as always, my name is Destiny Washington, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks.